those three announcements, one that says the course calendar of activities, and this is the calendar of activities that we're gonna be working accordingly. The second one is says here, please find attached the PowerPoint showing the registration process for the visible body courseware. In order for you to be invited to your courseware, you need to use this link. You either press this link or you copy the URL and paste it in your web browser. So when you press on the link, if you already did have a username and a password, you have used Visible Body before, it will automatically get you in your account, and now you're gonna have access to the Visible Body course content that you're gonna be using. If not, if this is your first time using Visible Body, and I believe this is the case for most of you, what you're gonna do, you're gonna be pressing sign up, and you're gonna enter your email. Make sure to use your college student email address when you register, because this is the only way I can confirm your identity. I won't be able to confirm who did register and who did not if you are using a personal email. So please make sure you are using a college student email while you are registering for Visible Body. After you complete the registration, you enter your information. This is the page that will appear to you. You've got three choices in order to purchase the access or to get access to the course content. You either will purchase it directly through their website. So you press need to purchase, go to checkout, you pay online, you're gonna get access. Or if you already did purchase the access code from the college, this access code is gonna be printed on sheets that will be mailed to you. So you're gonna simply enter the access codes that you will receive in the mail and you redeem it to get access. Or if you did already purchase it, but you haven't received it yet, what you can do in this case, you can use a temporary access. So it gives you 2-week trial period, so you can start working on your assignments. You can look at your course material, and while you're waiting for the access code to be delivered. All right, so those are the three choices that they will be giving you when you complete the registration. Again, please make sure to use your student email address in order to register for the Visible Body courseware. This is how the Visible Body courseware gonna look like when you sign in and complete the registration. You're gonna have 4 tabs, and this is where you're gonna have the 4 lab assignments that we're gonna mention in a second. So you've got 4 lab assignments. If you notice on here, it says here that they are due on August 18th, which is the last day of the semester. You don't have to use this due date. This is not the actual due date. It's just kept open until the end of the semester for you if you needed to review. But if you want to get a full grade for those assignments, you need to use the due dates mentioned on your syllabus. So first lab assignment is going to be due on the same day as lab exam 1. So I highly recommend you to complete the lab assignments before the lab exams, because this is a study tool. This is a tool that that will help you in preparing for this lab exam. So the due date for the 4 lab assignments gonna be the same 4 due dates for the lab exam. So you get 4 main due dates on which you're gonna have everything due. All right, just to simplify stuff for you, to not get confused, you have 4 main due dates. So Friday, June 26th, July 10th, July 31st, and August 18th. Those are the 4 due dates on which everything gonna be due. Mark them on your calendars to not miss any of the due dates. This doesn't mean that you will be able to do everything the day before the due date. It's a lot of stuff that you're gonna need to complete. You need to complete them as we cover the chapters, get the lecture exams, get the chapter exams, the chapter quizzes done before the due date. Because if you waited until the due date, it's very less likely you will be able to complete everything on time. There is no way you can complete a whole month work in just one night. So it's very important to start completing chapter quizzes, lecture exams, and stuff before the due date. Do not wait until the day or a night before this due date to get the stuff complete. I put them all together like this just for you to not get confused. All right, but this doesn't mean that you should be waiting until the due date to get your stuff completed. All right, so again, how many main due dates do we have for this entire course? We have no responses. I'm waiting. 1, 4. Yes. So I see, yeah, here we go. More people. Yes. All right, so 4 due dates, 4 main due dates on which we're gonna have everything due. All right, so back to our syllabus. So this is concerning the visible body courseware. Again, you can access it using purchasing the access code from the bookstores that will be mailed to you, or you can purchase it online, or you can, if you're not sure that you will be able to complete this course and you want to try stuff out, so you can get a 2-week trial period. I see somebody who did already sign register for this for the courseware, and they already use the personal email. Yes, you can change your email, but I'm not sure how to do it. All right, you need to dig into the system to figure out how to change your email, but I'm not exactly sure how to do it. But many students have done it before. All right, so what are the technology requirements for this class? You need to have access to a full operating system like a Mac OS or Windows. So you need a laptop or a desktop to get this course completed. This is very important. You won't be able to complete this course from your phone or tablet or a Chromebook. You need a full operating system to get this complete. All right, you need to have access to a computer. On your computer, please start downloading those stuff. So when you go to the syllabus, you will find the Acrobat Reader, Flash Player, Java, Shockwave Player, VLC, Zoom. Those are helpful softwares that I highly recommend you to download to not have any trouble using the course material. All right, so when you press on any of them, it will be directing you to their website where you can download those stuff. Very important thing also, I highly recommend you to use a web browser, a specific web browser, which is Google Chrome for everything. You're gonna need it anyways. It's mandatory to use for the Proctored Lab Exams. It's mandatory to use Google Chrome. All right, but I highly recommend you to stick with Google Chrome. This is a web browser that I didn't have any problem with for any of those platforms. There will be no lab supplies that are required for you to purchase. The labs are going to be conducted using 3D models for dissections or diagrams that will be showing real tissue slides. All right, so you don't need to purchase any lab supplies. What are the different course requirements for completion? So first we have the homework assignments and visible body courseware. So those are here. When you open the visible body courseware, this is how it looks like. You have a lot of information, a lot of study tools in this software. Not all of them gonna be graded. The ones that state graded are only the ones that will be towards the graded lab assignments. But if you go here, you have a quiz bank, you have the applications. Those are web-based apps. For example, the first one here, A&P app. It covers most of the information that we're gonna be discussing through those chapters. If you notice on here, it has a lot of 3D models that will help you get a better imagination of the topics. It has an explanation. So whenever I press on something, it tells me more information about it. For example, in the cell, it's going to be so helpful also when we use it for the bones and muscles. This is one of the best apps for the muscles I've ever seen. And this is what we're going to be relying on to complete our lab discussions. So it gives you a realistic view of the bones, for example. It will show you all the details that you are required to know as we're going to be discussing in those video recordings. All right, so this is a lot of assignments. All of those are not going to be graded. This is for you to have a better grasp of the information that we're discussing in this course. Only the graded ones are the ones that will be considered towards your lab assignments grade. So if you go here, you press assignments, you're gonna have only those 4 lab assignments. And they are in the form of a quiz. So when you enter, it will tell you, would you like to complete this quiz? All right, don't worry, it's not a quiz, it's an assignment. And you have unlimited attempts to get this completed. The highest score is the one that will be recorded towards your grade. So again, only those 4 lab assignments that you see on here under assignments are the ones that will be graded and considered towards your lab assignments grade. We have 4 lab assignments Each one is going to be out of 25 points. This will make a total of 100 points towards your course grade. So visible body courseware graded assignments here, we have 4 of them. Each one is out of 25 points. All of the 4 worth 100 points towards your course grade. For the chapter quizzes, we have 16 chapters, and those 16 chapters are going to be due on those due dates on your syllabus, which are the same 4 due dates like everything else. Where can you find the chapter quiz? So if you go back to your Canvas, press home, you will find everything is going to be divided into 4 modules. You have module 1, 2, 3, and 4. Under those modules, you're going to have the PowerPoint presentations that I use in my lectures for those chapters. You're going to also have chapter Q banks, and those chapter Q banks are PDF files that will be containing a bunch of questions related to the chapter, which are going to be helpful tools for you to master the material before you take the actual exam. So those PDF files going to contain a lot of questions related to the chapter they cover. And if you kept scrolling all the way down, you will find the key answer for those questions. So those files are for you to practice, to study before completing the actual quiz or the actual lecture exam. So lecture exams and chapter quizzes are going to be in the same format like those Q banks. So when you study the material after you study the chapter, I highly recommend you to go to the Q bank related to the chapter and start answering the questions on your own to check which points did you learn and which points you did not. After that, check the ones that you did not have a good understanding of. If you still have a problem, get back to me on those scheduled meetings, and we can discuss this topic further. All right, those again are study tools, not something that you should be completing for grades. If you kept going down, you will have a tab, a module called chapter quizzes, and you're going to have those 16 chapter quizzes. Each one is going to be graded out of 10 points. You're going to have 24 questions, which are multiple choice questions or true and false questions. You have 2 attempts to complete each of those quizzes. Again, the quizzes will not be available after the stated due date. Chapter quizzes are available for you to complete from day 1 of the course. So they are available from May 26th until their due date. The due date for the first 4 chapters is going to be June 25th. All right, so chapter quizzes are available from the beginning of the semester until the due date. Next, here is going to be your lecture exams, and we have 4 lecture exams. Again, each of them going to be due on the same 4 due dates. So first due date, we're going to have lecture exam 1 that will be covering the first 4 chapters. On the second due date, we're going to have lecture exam 2 due, which covers the next 4 chapters. The only one that doesn't cover the 4 chapters is going to be lecture exam 3, lecture exam 4, and it covers only 3 chapters rather than 4 chapters. And those are going to be 14, 15, and 16, and not 13. All right, so the only chapter which is not going to be covered by a lecture exam is going to be chapter 13. Where can you find the lecture exams? Lecture exams are going to be on the home page. You have a module called online lecture exams. When you press online lecture exams, you're going to have the 4 lecture exams scheduled 1 week before the due date. So lecture exams are not available from the beginning of the semester until the due date. They are only available for 1 week to be completed. Each lecture exam is going to be graded out of 60 points. You're going to have 64 possible points. So a person can get up to 4 extra credit points on each of those lecture exams. Same concept for the chapter quizzes. Chapter quizzes going to be graded out of 12, but each of them is worth 10 points. So you get a chance to get 2 extra credit points on each of those 16 chapter quizzes. Our next course activities that we're gonna need to complete are the proctored lab exams. If you go to Canvas on here, you're gonna have a tab that states proctored lab exams. If you try to access them, they are locked now. They won't be open until 1 week before the due date. But even if it's not locked, it will ask you for an access code, and I won't be providing you with an access code to complete those proctored lab exams. You can't access the proctored lab exams directly through the home page on Canvas. You need to get access through smarter proctoring. So if you see on here on the left side on the Canvas course shell, you have a tab called Smarter Proctoring. When you press on it, the lab exams gonna appear for you, and you should be able to complete the registration, because those exams, those 4 lab exams, are gonna be proctored. How the smarter proctoring works: you need to have a webcam in order to complete the test. You're gonna be recorded throughout the time of the while you're taking the exam. You should at the beginning show them your ID. Smarter proctoring will match your face with the ID. You need to be on your own in a separate room without any noises in the background. You will need to show them your desk, that you don't have anything on the walls, you don't have anything on the desk. All right, any suspicious activities that will be taking place, it will be flagged, all right, for me to review. All right, so yes, you will need to be on your own. You can't be at work, you can't be with kids in the same room, you can't have somebody walking or staying in the same room with you. You can't have voices other than yours during the test period, because also the application here will be recording the voice, and it will figure out that there was more than one voice that appeared during the test. All right, so again, the proctored lab exams you should be accessing them through smarter proctoring. And again, they are available 1 week before the due date, like the lecture exams. So again, if we're looking here at the calendar of activities, what we can see that on those 4 due dates, you're gonna have on each of them 4 chapter quizzes due. Also, you're gonna have a lecture exam and the lab exam. Chapter quizzes are available from the beginning of the semester until the due date. The lecture exams and the lab exams are only available for 1 week before the assigned due date. All right. So this is going to be for the proctored lab exams. Actually, this is a wrong information. I need to edit this in the posted syllabus. We have 4 graded lab exams. Each one is going to be worth 100 points. So the table here is showing the correct grading. Each of them is going to be worth 100 points. This will make a total of 400 points. Lecture exams, we have 4 of them. Each one is out of 60 points. This will make a total of 240 points. We have 16 chapters. Each one is worth 10 points. So they will give you a total of 160 points. And we have 4 lab assignments through the visible body courseware. Each one is going to be out of 25 points, giving you a total of 100 points. We're going to be conducting a proctored syllabus quiz. So a quiz that will just test your knowledge on how this course works. Simply testing your knowledge of our discussion today. All right, and it's going to be proctored. The main idea of this quiz is to make sure that you know all the information required to complete this course. Also, to be familiar with how the proctoring system gonna work. All right, this is for the proctored syllabus quiz, which gonna be available by the end of this weekend. By the end of this weekend, I will be posting an announcement with the link on how to sign up and complete a smarter proctoring exam. So this is going to be a practice for you on how to complete a proctored exam through smarter proctoring. Virtual class attendance and activities participation. This weekly meeting is not mandatory. This weekly meeting, it's not mandatory to attend. I will be available at every week on Friday at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock in the morning. And this meeting is going to be dedicated for the people who got any question concerning the material, concerning the course structure or requirements. All right. But the main lecture source is going to be the recorded sessions I will be posting on weekly basis on campus. So for example, on here, you will have chapter 1, video recordings. So when you press the link here, it will be directing you to YouTube where you can find the video recording covering the chapter. So before next week, I highly recommend you to go over those video recordings, and on our meeting on Friday, I will be taking any questions or concerning any of the topics discussed in this in this recording. How would you know if I did go through those video recordings or not? Is this required? Yes, it is required to go through those video recordings. And how would you monitor if I'm watching those video recordings or not? Embedded throughout those video recordings, you're gonna have questions that I'm addressing to the class. And you should be able to complete them. For example, when you watch the very first video recording, all right, it will start with question number 2. All right, so let's. All right, so question number 1 as an example on how would we be completing those in-class activities questions. So our very first questions this semester is going to be, what is the letter grade for 899 out of 1000 and 900 out of 1000? Can you respond in the chatting box, please? So 899, it's what letter grade? All right, so yes, as you're mentioning, it's a B and A. Why is this our very first question? To let you know that I never round up grades. So you've got the chance to get whatever grades that you want. You've got access to all the material like everyone else. So this is a B and can never be an A for me to be fair with everybody. But if I decided to round up the grade here, 899, why would another person come with 898 and ask me to round up also his grade? It's gonna look unfair for him because he's just 1 point away from 899 and so on. So in order to be fair with every one of you, I need to have a sharp demarcation. All right, so if you got 899, this is a B. If you got 900, it's an A. If you notice on Canvas, your chapter quizzes are gonna be graded out of 12 points rather than 10. And your lecture exams are gonna be graded out of 64 rather than 60. So on each of the lecture exams, you can get up to 4 extra credit points. On each of the chapter quizzes, you can get up to 2 extra credit points. So by the end of the semester, what you will see your grade, let's say, is 879 out of 1100. So if you calculated this, or let's say here to make it, you've got 900 points out of 1100. So Canvas will tell you that your percent is, let me check on here. So I've got 900 out of 1,100. Canvas will tell you that your percent is 81%. So this means you have a B, right? But this is not the actual grade that you're gonna get. Disregard what the grade on here on Canvas, because this includes the extra credit points. So in order to calculate your grade, you're gonna just look at the number of points that you got and you divide by 1,000 points. Disregard the percentage that's gonna be on Canvas. How to check your grade, you're gonna be simply considering the grade out of 1,000 because Canvas will not allow me to enter extra credit points. All right, so what you're gonna simply do, you check whatever points that you've collected, completing the different chapter quizzes, completing the different assignments, and consider it as out of 1,000 points, not 1,100, or it might go up to 1,100 and something. So by the end of the semester, each one of you will get a chance to get up to 100 extra credit points. All right. Any questions for me? Any questions? Anything which is not clear on how to manage this course? Where to find anything? What if I've missed a quiz or an exam? If you missed a due date for an exam, if you missed the due date for an exam, you won't be able to make it up. All right, lecture exams. The only things that you can make up is gonna be if you missed a lab exam. All right, you can miss one lab exam. And in order to make up for this lab exam, you need to complete a final exam that will substitute the grade for this missed lab exam. All right, so you can't make up a lecture exam, you can't make up a quiz. You can only make up one lab exam. All right, either you missed it or you didn't score well on. So if you didn't get a good score on one of the lab exams, in order to get a better grade on this lab exam, you can complete this at the end of the semester. All right, so how would I be submitting this in-class activities that you're gonna be checking on YouTube as I post those under the weekly chapters video recording? So I will open up a Word document like this, and I will write down my name on every single page. At the beginning of the page, I will write down my class day and time. So Friday, 10 o'clock. And I start answering the question. So for example, question. So I will write first the date. So today is the 29th, I believe, right? 5/29, 2020. This is today's date. And I will start answering the questions that have been addressed in this week video recording. So for example, today's, our very first question is 899, it's a B, 900, it's an A. Next week, you're gonna have other videos that will be posted. So you're gonna be watching them and you're gonna be completing the questions that will be addressed in this video, all right? At the end of the semester, you're gonna need to upload this document at the end of the semester. So I highly recommend you to keep backup copies of these documents that get updated regularly. If something happened, your computer crashed or something, you lost this file, I have no way to check out your work throughout the semester if you've lost this file at the end. So very important to keep a backup copy on another flash drive, on a Dropbox or whatever, or iCloud or something, for you to not lose all this information. So those are questions that will be addressed in the video recordings that will be posted and have been posted. And those video recordings are gonna be uploaded each week. So let me get some questions on here. So Zoom is gonna be dedicated for answering questions. I will not be repeating the whole lectures again that will be posted. This is for Tia. For retaking an exam, you cannot retake an exam. The only way to make up for a lab exam is by completing the comprehensive final exam. The questions are scattered throughout the video recordings of the lectures. Are those submitted through YouTube? No. As you see on here, you're going to be creating a file, a Word document that you're going to be writing down the answers in the same way. Remember to put your first, last name, class, day, and time at the beginning of each page that you're going to be using. And at the end, you'll see on here, virtual class activities and pop quizzes, this tab on here on Canvas. You're gonna go and press submit assignment. You choose the file from your device and you upload the file at the end of the semester. And this is gonna be reviewed at the end of the semester and graded accordingly. So to double check, we have to purchase the anatomy and physiology book and visible body. Yes. The textbook is highly recommended. The visible body access is mandatory to complete the lab assignments and to have access to the 3D models that we're going to be using that will be substituting the actual labs. So there is no attendance points. The attendance is going to be checked by completing those activities that are in the form of questions through those video recordings. Attendance for this virtual meeting, it's not gonna be counted. This virtual meetings that we're gonna have every Friday, it's gonna just be dedicated to answer questions, if you've got any. So no attendance is gonna be checked other than today's attendance. Yes, there will be, as you keep watching the video recordings, Shania, you will be able to find questions that will be addressed, and they will be numbered, so you will not be getting confused. Each question I will mention, it's going to have a number, but you will not open at a specific point to find those. They might be scattered throughout the video recording. Yes. Brian, we're gonna be submitting all those activities, the answer for those questions. Actually, most of the questions I will be addressing in those lectures, I will be answering in the video itself. So it's not something that will be testing your knowledge. It's something that checks that you have watched the video and gets you more involved in the recording, in the video, with those lectures. We submit these answers too. So Shania, I can't understand what do you mean by submitting these answers to. Can you please explain more? What do you mean by this? So the lectures are on here, are recorded every week for us to come back to. No, video recordings, those are 6 hours length. We are not gonna be meeting for 6 hours. All right. Those video recordings are for you to watch on your own and complete the activities on your own. This meeting is dedicated just for me to answer your questions. So for example, I've watched the video for action potential or the muscle contraction and I still have trouble with. So you come to me on Friday on time at 10 o'clock, you tell me, can you repeat the whole thing? And I would be happy to repeat the topic for you if you need. All right. But the main lecture is the one that will be posted on Canvas, the recorded one. No, you will not be submitting. No, you are not going to be submitting each week the activities. You're going to be writing down all the answers throughout the semester and you're going to submit just one document at the end of the semester. But you're going to definitely need to complete each one on weekly basis because there will be no time at the end of the semester for you to watch hundreds of hours of video recordings. So lectures and labs are going to be combined together. So they are integrated together. So there will be no sharp demarcation between the labs and the lecture because there will be no hands-on, something that you're going to do on your own. So the labs are going to just be virtual 3D models that we're going to be using. And they are integrated within the lecture. So the video going to be covering both aspects, the theoretical part and the lab part. Where do we submit the questions from the video? You submit the questions again, you write down your answers in a Word document. As I've shown you, you write down your name, the day, the week date. So for example, today is the 29th, you put 29. This is when the videos got uploaded. When you watch the video, you're gonna be completing questions addressed through this video by writing them down in this Word document, and you're gonna be submitting all this document. This is gonna be a huge document at the end of the semester. All right, keep backup copies in a cloud or in other flash drives that you update on a regular basis. I answered Hannah, I answered this question before. All right, you will submit everything at the end of the semester as one document. Again, where can you submit it at the end of the semester? You're gonna go here on Canvas on the home page. You will see something called virtual class activities. You press on it and it will allow you to submit the assignment by choosing the files that you have created throughout the semester. Any questions? Any questions? All right, so again, on the home page, under the modules, you will find the PowerPoint presentations that will be discussed, that will be covered in the posted video recordings. So if you want to make a copy for you to edit, for you to review, this is gonna be helpful in here. Also, before the labs, I will be stating in those recordings where you can get access to the list of bones, list of muscles that you're gonna be in need of to study for those labs. Yeah, so just one document, please. Just one document for it to be easier to manage in my at the end of the semester when I start to grade. Any questions? Any questions for me? All right, so what should we do this week? Watch chapter 1 video recordings, answer the embedded activities. So you're gonna have 2 sets of questions, number 1 through 5, I believe, and then it will, in part 2, it will go again from 1 to 5. So in the next set, you're gonna be using 1 prime or something, 1 prime, 2 prime, 3 prime, just to differentiate which one belongs to part 1, which one belongs to part 2. All right, I will figure it out. Just answer all of them in this document and I will figure this out. And expect an announcement later this weekend that will be covering how you can access smarter proctoring, and that will state that the syllabus quiz is available for you to complete. No, you don't need to write down the questions. Actually, a lot of questions are going to be in the form of diagrams that I will be drawing and pointing out to different structures. So what you're going to just need to do is to write down the names corresponding to those markings. All right, you don't need to write the whole question or draw the whole diagram each time. You're going to just put them in a list. All right. Any questions? All right, so please write down your first, last name in the chatting box for me to take attendance. And please write down the name as it appears in the college documents. Please write down your first, last name as they appear in the college doc. Anyone didn't put his or her first and last name? Any further questions? For me? All right, so my recommendation, what to do this week until we meet on Friday: go through the chapter 1 video recordings, go through the chapter 1 QBank, and get chapter 1 quiz completed. All right, this will give you an impression about how you're gonna be working throughout the semester. All right, again, we're gonna be meeting next Friday to discuss any questions that you have. All right. Also expect by next Friday to have chapter 4 video recordings uploaded. All right. Any questions? Any questions? All right. So it was nice to meet you all. Thank you so much for making it to this meeting today, and looking forward to see if you've got any questions next Friday. All right. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself and have a good weekend.